Boom. Welcome to the stream. I'm Tommy, one half of 6 Foot Pigeons. This is our daily demo series, building tracks from scratch, in real time, samples, vocals, production, the whole nine. The goal is to make something original, experimental here in the short amount of time we have today. So if that's your type of content, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell to know right when we go live. Our music's live on all platforms. Just look up 6 Foot Pigeons. And we got a playlist of all of the daily demos in the description that we've made so far. That's where we're going to upload the one today and all daily demos in the future. And so today's plan, we're going to start with samples and Splice, riff on some vocals, build it out in Logic Pro, production, mix, bounce. So let's get to it. On the left side of my screen here, I have Splice. On the right side, I have Logic. So we're going to start here in Splice's stack building tool, and we're going to use the trap preset. So let's get to it. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm already liking how that's sounding. Pretty mean bass. Simple drums. Okay. Brass and winds. I like that hit. Okay, we're gonna keep that. Maybe some keys. Kind of like these two together. Pretty mean. Some more percussion. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So this Splice stack tool is really good just for generating the idea. Then we're going to bring these into Logic and we're going to really turn it into our own. But let's see if we can really get the juice out the squeeze here and then keep going. Okay. What else? What else? Synth? Vocals? Okay, this might be good enough to play around a little bit. So this is F minor. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch from this snowball mic in front of me over to the Neumann to the side. Hey. 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 Alright, so it's 140 BPM. We're going to move the session to 140 BPM. And now we're going F minor. Hey, hey. Maybe a little bit of preset delay, some mid-length delay, delay. map. Seeing red, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing red. I'm seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing neon, seeing red. Okay, let's go ahead and download these stems, bring them into Logic. Not sure what the vocals will be yet, but I like the groove here, so let's build it out. Okay, let's bring it on over. And usually it comes in pretty loud, so we're gonna tone it down. Tone it down, tone it down. Okay, extend it. Let's go low latency mode. And let's just play around. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's extend the beat a little bit. let's just try this out.
Hey, hey, got 'em hanging off the rafts, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, yeah, I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, then I thought I'd let you know, you know.
Okay, come on.
Hey, got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red.
Okay, let me get that right.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the maps in red. Turning right around and go, only thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the map. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red.
Okay, something there we could build off. Let's see if we can make this work. Come on.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, swerving right about the map. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys
I'm gonna change one word. One word.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red.
That's good enough. Good enough right there.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red.
Okay, let's see if we can add a little bit of low background layer to this. So I'm going to the Auto-Tune, low male. We're gonna pan that top one a little bit to the right. We're gonna pan this one a little to the left. Let's get busy.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, see red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rafts, flying right above the maps in red. Turning up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off. Got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, right up off the map, seeing red. Right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red.
Okay, sounding okay. Now let me see about doing a high, maybe melodic background. Let's see. So we're going to auto-tune. We're going to see, maybe we'll take it to soprano. Let's see if we're lucky.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks.
Okay, let's pan these ad-libs.
Off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing
My
got 'em
friend.
hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you got 'em
How we
hanging off
sounding?
the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing red. Got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing got 'em hanging off the walls, dresses hanging off the racks, flying right up off the map, seeing red. Turning right around and go, and I thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go, seeing
Okay, good enough here that I'm going to save this so we don't lose this session. All right. All right. let's keep going.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rails, flying right up off the map, seeing red, turning right around and go.
Okay, feeling okay about where the vocals are at right now. We're gonna surely build on those in time, but to start out here, we're actually gonna transition over here to the beat and see if we could do something with these samples. So coloring the vocals for my own organization, muting them, and now let's see what we can build out right here on the beat. So what I like to do is I like to start with the drums, get the drums segmented out to where we can control them and mix them, and then go down the priority list of the musical elements. So let's go ahead and do that right here. All right, so this is the kind of the background percussion. Priority number one is the main groove here. So let's go ahead. And what I like to do, you'll see that there's the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, all of that's cooking in the same sample, but we want to segment that out so we can mix individual elements, because how you mix a kick is not how you mix a high percussion. So let's see if we can identify a good kick to pull out of here. Yeah, it's probably just that first one. So we're going to take that kick, we're going to bring it down here. Now we're going to replace this kick in the original sample with just like as clean of a hi-hat hit as we could find. Money. Okay. Now we're going to map this across the sample. Okay, there we go. So we can rock with that loop right there. So now if we mute the kick, this is what we're working with. Now I like to check, make sure none of that low end of the kick is coming through. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this low pass and the EQ. Maybe let's see about turning this percussion into mono. I usually like to put the drums in mono to give the vocals more space. Sounding pretty good. Now let's add some saturation. My tool of choice is Soundtoys, or rather iZotope Trash. iZotope Trash has really good saturation presets that help just drive something to make it have a little more thump. So you can already hear without, with. So that's pumping. That's in a good spot. So now let's move on to the kick. Now you'll hear that there's still that high end in the kick. So there's more elegant ways to do this, but for the sake of a demo, I'm just gonna go EQ and I'm just gonna duck that out of the mix. So now I'm just working with the kick here. Same thing with kick across the board. It's gotta be mono for me. Now what I like to do here is go to Waves Max Bass. There's a preset here, Multimedia. Bring the frequency down a little bit. It puts it right in this kind of envelope where the kick really kind of lives it in its own lane. So I really like that aspect of this. And now extra credit here for the kick. I'm gonna go to Waves Smack Attack. It does what it says it does. So let's see if we can make this sound nice with Excitement for Drums preset. Bring it down a little bit in the sustain. Bring down the wetness. Okay. So now this is our kick sound. This is where we started. Ready? And now we're with this. Much more controlled, much more punchy. So now let's hear it with the drums again. And now let's bring in the other percussion loop. Kind of a lot going on here. Kind of want to make it a little thinner, this layer, so I'm going to take out a lot of that low end. Sometimes if I want something to be a little thinner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the stock exciter tool in Logic, bring it up to add silver, maybe reduce some of the harmonics a little bit. That kind of brings the high end up. It makes the high end of this element richer. So what that means is I can turn the whole thing down. I'm not compromising that high end. I'm just removing some of the low end to kind of clean it up a little bit in the mix, if you will. So now I'm going to pan this one over a little bit to the right, just to give a little bit of spaciousness to the drums. So now we're working with this. I think we can just do with this top one. Not sure if there's a difference. All right. Let's loop this out. Hey, if you're here with me live, hit the chat. How we doing? Who's in the chat? How's this sounding? Is the chat alive? Okay, so now we got this. What I like to do is identify the core musical element from these other samples that we brought in, and then I'm going to use that to drive the song. So let's kind of go through one by one and see which of these should take priority for us. This one was the one we started the sample with. This one strikes me as something very cool, very hip-hop. Probably bring it down an octave, so I'm just going to see how that sounds. A tip for you, I think it's Option. Yeah, if you click Option and then you go down or up, you could see this little number right here. Now it's an octave down. Very quick tool if you want to see what some sounds like a few semitones down. So now we're working with that. This is our bass, pretty mean bass. It's not the main element, it's gonna be driving the song. We really like these stabs, these horn stabs. Again though, let's see how they sound an octave down. Okay, when you bring it down an octave, you want to make sure to safeguard your low end so that you don't start getting a cluttered low end when the bass starts coming in. So you can see that this is kind of hitting down here. I would prefer, we don't want to emasculate it, but we just want to make sure that we can declutter the low end. And furthermore, to leave some space for the high end for the vocals, I'm going to duck this kind of mid-high range right here preemptively, because I know usually that's where the vocals are going to sit. Okay. Now with this, a couple other things. Let's make sure the imaging is right. So to see how it sounds mono, it doesn't lose much mono. So sometimes if it doesn't lose a lot mono, I like to go mono. It simplifies the mix, but let's see if just very narrow will do. That sounds good to me. Maybe we'll pan it a little bit to the left since we got some of the drums going to the right. Now what we want to do, go back to this sample here. How's this sound mono? Yeah, same thing. Very narrow should work with this. For both of these, I think I'm going to add iZotope Trash Delicate Harmonics preset. It's a really good saturator that just warmthens and adds a little bit of presence. Very subtle sometimes, but in this case, I think it's going to help. I'm going to check the EQ on this. Same thing, you could see the end of it, it's kind of going in this 80-100 range. That's right where the kick is going to be. So to avoid having just too much going on at the low end, I'm going to preemptively bring some of this down, but being careful not to remove the stature of this sample here. Because if you do this, if you duck this too much, it starts to sound thin and flimsy. Not good attributes. Okay. So now let's just fly over the delicate harmonics over to these horns. Sounding pretty good. What else we got? Piano stab. So this is already very low. Hitting maybe twice as often as I want it to. Let's see. Now what happens if I take the second half of this release of these hit stabs and lengthen it out? Okay, we get a little bit of grindiness that takes place right there. Okay, so maybe let's undo that. Let's see how it sounds if we just extend the whole thing a little bit and then maybe fade. Sounded pretty good, sounded pretty aggressive. Now because this piano is so low, I very much want it to be, you know, mono or close to mono. I think mono's honestly okay right there. I'm comfortable losing a little bit of the texture of kind of the imaged out, spaced out piano, just because there's so much else going on. Maybe add a little bit of a filter to this first sample. High pass it. Okay, now I think last thing here for this element is I'm going to go to a compressor. You can use any tool. I use our compressor from Waves. And I'm just gonna, I can see that sometimes this, you know, you can see it's kind of going up and down. It's very dynamic, which is nice, but I would like to control it a little bit. So I'm gonna add some compression, bring down the highest transients here. And then now that gives me some space to turn the whole thing up a little bit. Hopefully give it a little bit more presence. Okay. And now, we haven't gone through some of these other ones, but I already know like this vocal right here, for example, bring it down an octave, and I'll probably bring this in like a little bit later in the song, and again maybe make it hit half as frequently, but that's a secondary element right now. So let's go ahead and hear how everything is sounding together now that we've done an initial take at cleaning it up. So now it's sounding good. We haven't touched the bass. So let's see if we can do something real quick with the bass. So I kind of like this gritty, synthy, Tron-like bass that we're working with. So let's build on it. So let's see how it sounds mono. Interesting. So almost across the board, I like my bass to be mono, but this one has like some kind of glitchy something to it that I do lose something when I turn it straight mono. Sometimes I like to go to this imager and bring it mono. It has just ever so slightly different quality. Not sure how it's both mono, but okay. So here, let's just maybe make it super narrow, but not completely mono. Sounding decent. Let's go ahead and add max space here. So I like this Diaz Bossum preset. Bring it down a little bit. Keep it in that low range. And usually I add a radiator, like a little radiator, to almost give some distortion, to overdrive the bass, but this one's already got some mean texture, so I don't want to overdo it, but let's just see. Okay, now let's see about Refuse Software's low ender. Totally optional, extra credit, not all the way necessary at all times, but sometimes it really helps bring that low end just front and center. So let's see. And now lastly here, there is a lot going on the mid or on the high end, which I like. It's a cool texture, but it is a bass sound after all, and I want to make sure it kind of stays in its lane a little bit with all the other elements going on. Okay. So let's just see what the difference is. This is what we started with. And now we're cooking with this. I would say pretty subtle, but I like it just because it makes it more controllable. So when we have everything else in there, it's not just being absolutely dominated by the bass. So let's go ahead. One other thing that I have to watch and be careful of here with these samples is the relationship between the kick and the bass. So right now, it kind of sounds like to me that the kick is being dominated by the bass. The bass is far more there, and the kick is kind of like trying to break through. So to just as like a cheap fix, I'm gonna go to the EQ of the bass. I'm gonna duck it in the area where the kick is most prominent. I'm gonna go to the kick. I'm actually gonna tighten it up on the low end because I don't want it to compete at the lowest of lows with the bass. What this might do is if the kick is playing by itself and the bass isn't there, the kick may sound a little bit thinner because I'm taking some of the lowest end out. But when the bass and the kick are going, it's just gonna sound a little cleaner because they're not competing as much in that low end. And so similarly right here, you know, got in like the 60 range is kind of where this is kicking the most. Okay. Hey, that sounds okay to me. You know, we could build on it. We could always swap in our own bass, but for the sake of this demo, I think that demonstrates a little bit of just tightening up the mix of the kick and the bass, and now we can move on and see about developing this. Let's go. Okay, maybe we can enhance the drums with some of our own elements. Keep it simple. Don't have to overthink hi-hat additions. All right, so I'm liking how that helps a little bit. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bounce it in place, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring it down maybe like 3, 4, 5 semitones. See how that sounds. Okay, and now let's go ahead and enhance that with maybe an additional layer. So sometimes what I like to do is I like to layer that kind of synthetic 808 hi-hat with something that sounds almost a little bit more natural. There we go. How we doing? Somebody hit the chat. How's the chat going today? Bring it down maybe 3 semitones. Little clap. What's up? Louis. We got Louis or Luis. My grandpa's name is Louis, so I'll just call you Louis, saying hey from Switzerland. Good to see you. I was in Lugano last year. Love that place. Thanks for tuning in. All right, I like that little side rhythm with the clap we just added. Sick. Okay. Yeah, Louis, I am in Texas, Austin, Texas right now, from California, born and raised. But yeah, Lugano's a really cool place, man. I would go back in a heartbeat. Okay, so we just added another enhancing percussion element here. Now, for my own curiosity, I want to see how it sounds without this additional layer here. Okay. All right, really liking the adjustment to the beat that we just added. Now, it sounds like this track so far really have a good, consistent musical underbelly that we're gonna build off of. Now what I would like to do, so we are in F minor. I'm gonna go to one of my favorite vocal sample tools. Vocal sample tools right here, that's Exhale. It is a output is the manufacturer of the software tool Exhale. It is, if you've never heard of it or never used it, but you like using kind of vocal samples in your production, this is a must-have in my opinion. Now, when I play through this, just bear in mind there's a little bit of clippiness that happens because it's kind of transposing these vocal elements in real time. So you may hear a little bit of clippiness as I'm going through it, but that's on my end, not on your end. But let's work through it together. All right, we got to make sure to put it in F minor. And now let's go. Down an octave. All right, let's just see about it. Okay, I'm not sure about the little accents at the end, but I am sure about those hezzy hits. Let me just see if there's anything else here for us. Okay, now something I don't always do with Exhale is I go into a specific note here. So I like how these sound. And this one is a little too, I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly about it. Too guttural. So let me see if there's anything here. You know, yeah, I think what I may do, let's see. I think I may just add a high pass filter on the whole thing. So let me bounce this. So I like to bounce the exhale as soon as I find a element that I'm happy with, so we don't have to deal with the clippiness. So now we got this. Who else we got in the chat? Where are you from in the world? Yeah. That's right. Oh yeah. Anything else? Can we add any more vocal elements? Okay, now what we might do here is bring down an octave those last two here, like this. All right, so go in here to exhale, bring that specific note down an octave. Let's see how this sounds. A little bit better. Let's bounce that in place. And I'm already thinking that's going to be an arrangement issue. That's element that's not going to be playing the whole time. So let's go ahead and simplify the session, delete that. Now let's work with this. Maybe we'll start to build out some of the vocals here, see what we laid early on, if those still work, or if we need to go back to the drawing board. see if I switch up the melody. Okay, let's just see if we could build something with that. almost there. Then we're gonna start adding some layers to this, really spruce it up.
On my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. In a pout, if you see me, put them out. And you homies are Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, had to pout, cause he told me to keep it bout. Wanna shit up on a bout, on a nut, yeah, bodies with a job. I'm en route, and a homie, cause he told me to keep it bout. Wanna shit up on a bout, on a nut, yeah, bodies with a job. Yeah, it ain't keep it noise on a drought, and I keep it on the flow. Yeah, bodies with a job. Yeah, it ain't drinking on a drought. Hey, on my side is a flood, on your side told me to keep it noise on a shit up, and I keep it on the flow. Yeah, bodies with a job. Yeah, on a cop, and I keep it on the flow. Yeah, bodies with a job. Yeah, it ain't drinking on a drought. Hey, on my side is a flood, on your side.
Okay. Unsure of all the words, but we're gonna go ahead and build it out, and we're gonna add that low layer, and maybe we're gonna do some ad-libs behind. Let's see.
Let it go,
Ready?
on my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out. And I'm homies are Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep it noise on a cop.
Keep your head up.
On the flow, yeah, bodies with a job. It ain't drinking on a drought.
Keep your head on a swivel.
On my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out.
See 'em.
Homies are Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep it noise on a cop.
Keep your head up.
Keep it on the flow, yeah, bodies with a job. It ain't drinking on a drought.
Yeah.
On my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out.
Point 'em out.
Homies are Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yeah, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep it noise on a cop.
Keep your head up.
On the flow, yeah, bodies with a job.
Wow.
It ain't drinking
Head on a swivel.
on my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out.
Point 'em out.
Or Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep it noise on a cop.
Keep your head up.
On the flow, yeah, bodies with a job. Yeah, it ain't drinking
Head on a swivel.
on my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out.
Point 'em out.
Or Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep me, pour it out, pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep it noise on a cop.
Keep your head up.
On the flow, yeah, bodies with a job. It ain't drinking
Head on a swivel.
on my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still.
Shouts out Colby, welcome to the stream. Happy to hear you're liking it. Let's keep it going.
On my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out.
Point 'em out.
Or Peter Charles, let me pour it out.
Okay, now let's go ahead and see about adding in some fun melodic background elements to this, see if we can get lucky with some melodies or what have you. Let's go.
Let it go, on my side is a flood, on your side is a drought, but I still don't pull it out. Pour it out, if you see me, put them out.
Point 'em out.
Or Peter Charles, let me pour it out, pour it out. Yo, on my way, yeah, I'm en route, and I'm high, cause he told me to keep it noise on a cop.
Keep your head up.
On the flow, yeah, bodies with a job. It ain't drinking
Head on a swivel.
it out. Yo, on my way, I'm in route. I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, yeah. It ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. Yo, on my way, I'm in route, I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, yeah. It ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. Yo, on my way, R.I.P. we pour it out. Yo, on my way, I'm in route, I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, it ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. Yo, on my way, I'm in route, I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, it ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side, it's a
Okay, I'm liking that kind of Knight Rider element here. It's kind of feeling a little spooky. And let's go ahead and maybe add some just ad-libs, maybe not even auto-tune ad-libs, just some energy. So switch it up, bring it over here, keep a little bit of the delay, and maybe we just add a little bit of primitive essence.
let it go. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. Yo, on my way, I'm in route, I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, it ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. Yo, on my way, I'm in route, I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, it ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. So on my way, I'm in route, I'm on my way, cause he told me to keep it nose on the cup. Keep your head up on the floor, yeah. Bodies with a chop, it ain't dragging, head on the slope. On my side. On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do here with this element is I would like it to have a little bit of panning, a little bit of spaciousness here. So I'm going to go to one of my tools that I like, Soundtoys Pan Man. And there's a fun, there's a fun little preset here. Random Ambler. It kind of gives it a little bit of randomness. I can bring the width in so it's not going crazy to either direction and soothe out the panning. So it's kind of gradually going left and right in a random frequency. And I could even offset it to where it's mostly to the right or it's mostly to the left. But let's keep it kind of center and give it some freedom to go back and forth. And this is on the ad-lib track. So maybe it's going to give a little bit of almost we're lurking around you type of feel here.
On my side, it's a flood side, it's a drop, dirt, I'm pouring it out. If you see me, point 'em out, R.I.P. the Charles, let me pour it out, R.I.P. we pour it out. So on my way, I'm in route, on my way,
so now I'm liking how it goes into that. So maybe you would just play around with something that's gonna come in right when it comes in, the little intro vocal, give it some energy, and maybe hint at what's coming. And then from there, I think we can go ahead and add some little bit of arrangement, a little bit of master, bounce this, and call it a day. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here on the front end. I might play around, see if any of these like ad libs or something can be a cheat code we just throw right in there, but let's just see real quick. How's it sounding? Someone hit the chat. How are we sounding so far? Okay, now let's just add one more little sassy layer on the intro. A little intro sass. Okay, sounding good. Now we're gonna just listen through while we're arranging and just see if we can add some extra elements by reducing, a little bit of addition by subtraction. Okay, let's see. Drawing it. You pull it out. Yeah. Float it. Drawing it. Yeah. Float it. Drawing it. You pull it out. You point them out.
Got 'em hanging off the walls, just hanging off the rails, right above the mouse. Turn it right around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, says a flow. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, says a flow. On my side, says a drop. Thought I'd let it go. On my side, says a flow. On my side, says a drop. Thought I still don't pull it out. Right above the mouse. Turn it right around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, says a flow and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. Around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, turn it right around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, says a flood. On my side, says a drop. But I still don't pull it out. Pull it out. If you see it, point 'em out. Point 'em out. Heartbeat of tries. Let me pull it out. Heartbeat, pull it out. So on my way, I'm in route. On my way, 'cause he told me keep it nice. Told me gotta keep your head up, keep it flow. Yeah, that is to the job. Eat it, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off the wall. Eat it, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off the wall. Eat it, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off the wall. Eat it, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off the wall. Just hanging off the rails.
All right, just playing around with muting some stuff at certain parts to try to add a little bit of emphasis.
Ain't drinking, pound of soup. Eat it, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Eat it, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off the walls, ain't drinking, pound of soup. Got 'em hanging off the walls, just hanging off the rails, right above the mouse. Turn it right around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. And you thought I'd let it go.
Yeah.
And you thought I'd let it go.
A little bit of fades. Yeah.
Thought I'd let it go.
Cool. Okay. And now what we're going to do is just while we're putting up some final touches to the arrangement, to the little accents and moments where we're muting and providing emphasis, I'm going to go to the master bus. I'm going iZotope Ozone 8, great mastering tool all in one. And they got great presets for these purposes. I'm not going to do the presets. All I'm doing is this multi-band compression, multi-band imaging, which is my favorite tool that they offer, and then the maximizer. So I'm just going to go through while I'm listening, maybe do some final adjustments to the arrangement while I'm mastering, and then we're going to give it one final listen at the end, and that's going to do it. So let's give it a go. Yeah. Flood it.
Right above the drop, I still don't pull it out. Heartbeat of tries, let me pull it out. Heartbeat, pull it out. So on my way, I'm in route, on my way, 'cause he told me keep it nice. Told me gotta keep your head up, keep it flow. Yeah, that is to the job. Off the walls, just hanging off the rails, right above the mouse.
Okay. Yeah. Float it. Drown it. You pull it out. You point 'em.
Hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rails.
Okay, so just put a little bit of a master on, and now, like we do every single time, gonna listen start to finish at our creation, enjoy it, and see what type of vibe we just created. So let's go ahead and go start to finish, no interruptions. Yeah. Float it. Drown it. You pull it out. You point 'em out.
Hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rails. Right up off the mountain. Turning right around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go. On my side, it's a float, float upside, it's a drop, drop, don't point it out. If you see when I'm out, point 'em out. R.I.P. the tries, let me pour it out. R.I.P. pour it out. So on my way, I'm in route, on my way, 'cause he told me keep it nose, told me keep your head up, keep it flow, yeah, that is the job, yeah, eat it, yeah, you drink it, head on the street. Got 'em hanging off the walls, jerseys hanging off the rails, right up off the mountain. Turning right around and go. Thought I'd let you know, and you thought I'd let it go.
Oh yeah, really liking that. High quality. I think that that's, obviously some street, little bit of Tokyo Midnight kind of riding through the street, little bit of Bad Intentions. Little shout out to my homie Charles, who died last year. Rest in peace, Charles. Really kind of like the gritty element, the essence of this beat, the vocals. Like I said, really Bad Intentions. So if you got anything from this, really appreciate everybody who hopped on. We got some late members here jumping in. So really appreciate every single one of you guys who was a part of this, who chimed in. And so that does it. Link in the description if you want to listen to this and every other demo that we've made as a part of this series. If you got something from today's session, it would be huge for us. Simply like, subscribe, drop a comment, and hit the bell if you want to be notified next time we go live. Our music is out now. Just search 6 Foot Pigeons on any streaming platform or hit the link in the description. And we'll be doing this weekly. So far, we've been doing it daily on weekdays. So just follow to stay in the loop. And if you've got any suggestions or requests, as always, drop them in the chat. And once again, really appreciate every single one of you guys. Without further ado, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.